Hey everyone, Mark here. Welcome back to the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. Thanks for listening. Uh, got a film here. It's kind of interesting, actually. Uh, Let me give you the synopsis, their synopsis, and then we'll go from there, shall we? A nun's disturbing behavior sparks rumors of demonic possession at a remote convent. When a priest in waiting and his disillusioned mentor are sent to investigate, their methods backfire, leaving a wake of terror and trauma. That sounds like a straight up horror movie, doesn't it? It's not a straight up horror movie. Written by John Selvidge and Mickey Reece, directed by Mickey Reece, who's I reviewed one of his other films not too long ago. Uh, and it has a very similar feel to it. Stars Molly Quinn, Jake Horowitz, Sean Gunn, Chris Browning. Um, this is different from what that synopsis would have you believe. First off, rarely do you find cute nuns outside of porn. Um, there is a rather disturbing bit at near the beginning when our disillusioned mentor is assigned to go out to this remote convent, and that is where one of his professional nemesis, who is assigning him to this, laughs at the soon-to-be priest because there have been accusations made apparently about child sexual abuse against the other priest. And he asks if he's safe, and they say, "No, you're a grown man. You don't have anything to be afraid of." But they're openly laughing about it, and I found that to be a little disturbing, and yet probably oddly indicative of some people's attitudes about that whole phenomenon in the church. Um, so our priest gets there, and of course the Mother Superior is none too happy about there being a not just one priest, but two priests, and not even two priests, a priest and a priest in waiting, a guy who hasn't even taken his vows yet, in this convent full of nuns, who of course openly comment amongst themselves about how cute and how movie star good looking the younger priest to be is, and even the older one doesn't look too bad. It's very strange. Um, of course, the exorcism goes off without a hitch until it hitches, um, and then finishes. And one of Agnes's, who is the nun who is possessed, one of her friends, Sister Mary, leaves the convent halfway through the film. And then the film is not about Agnes at all. It is about Sister Mary, who gives up her habit and tries to move on post convent. And it's about her trying to adjust to life outside the convent. There's some weird cinematography and some weird vision-y stuff going on. So it's not supernatural per se. It's kind of still spiritual, but it's very strange. It's a very strange construction for a film. Um, by the end of the film, Mary has tracked down and is talking to the young now priest that was there at the convent, and the film ends with them having a conversation about faith and feeling God, and finding God, and knowing God. So this entire film is this very strange construct, which really is an examination of faith, but it's composed in such a way that you can't really nail it down a ton on what it is actually trying to say or not say. However, if we can look at the film in terms of what I am going to call the sandwich analogy that we are presented with at the end of the film, it might allow us to appreciate the film a little more. So I recommend Agnes. It's gotten fairly good reviews or reception at the film festivals it's been at. Um, and you will be able to see it in theaters and on demand December 10th. Um, it's an interesting. It feels very art house, um, and I think that's right. And I think that's where it's going to play best, because it's not a typical narrative. It's not a typical presentation, but it is an interesting set of circumstances, even though the first half you kind of recognize everything that's going on, but then you get to the second half, and that's where a lot of uncertainty comes into play, in terms of the audience and dealing with what's going on. So, uh, if you're in the mood for something a little different, I would go ahead and tell you to track down Agnes, when it comes to a smaller theater or an art house near you. Um, yeah, it was different than I was reading going in, but I'm kind of glad it was. Uh, yeah, it's nice when a film can be different than what you think it's going to be, but not so much so that you lose any excitement you had going in. So it's a nice balance that this film strikes. So check it out. It's called Agnes, December 10th, digital and in theaters. Like I said, it'll probably be in an art house film or art house cinema near you. So check it out. More movies coming, more big movies coming. We will get back to those when Ryan gets back from England. So till then, don't forget to like us, follow us on social media at VS Movie Podcast. You know the drill. If you're watching us on YouTube, click subscribe. That's also awesome. And until next time, I am Mark. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.